Hi. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out actually. I didn't expect anyone to actually come on. I don't really know how to do a YouTube live. Um so I'm really just on here trying to figure it out. So I don't even know if I'm prepared to talk about anything. I was going to start a TikTok live, but I've tried like setting all these different cameras up, and now I have to look in this one, but you're coming up over here, so it's really weird. I didn't mean for it to be in this camera, and now I don't know how to change it. Let's see. I think I know how. Hold on. Oh, that's better. Can you guys even hear me? Um, Last time I tried to do this on here, um, the sound was terrible. So, can you guys hear me? I might launch into a TikTok live as well. Can hear and see you, just gotta adjust the camera. It's so weird because TikTok is just so easy for me. So to do this on YouTube, I was kind of like, it's Sunday afternoon. Nobody will be on here. I can mess around with it and go live, because you can't go live and actually see the camera and what it's doing until you actually hit the go live button. Whereas on TikTok, my phone shows me what I already see prior to me even clicking the button. So I was a little unprepared for people to actually pop in here. So thank you guys. Except now I'm like still getting my stuff ready. I actually just recorded a podcast too, which I have no idea how to actually get on YouTube, but I'm not used to having such a small group. What do you guys actually want to talk about? I might launch into a TikTok live as well, just because there's so few people in here. Unless you guys got a conversation you want to go with. What do I have planned for upcoming TikToks? Right now, nothing. I'm banned again. So I'm in viewer only mode. I'm restricted to only watching. I can't comment. I can't answer anybody's messages. So if any of you have written me a message and I've not answered it, it is only because there's an echo effect going on. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that. I really don't. I don't know if that makes it better. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure this out, and I didn't actually think anyone would pop on here. You're banned because you say what they don't want you to hear. Exactly. Well, this was a video, because I'm at the place now where if I get even one violation, it puts me into this viewer only mode. And this video was from months ago. So I feel like sometimes they go back into the archives and they ban you for a video that like I forgot I made. That's how long ago it was. So that's why I'm in trouble right now. But I can currently go live. So it's like they only take one or the other away from me at a time. And I have 2 backup accounts, and now I have YouTube. And I'm actually looking at my husband has a friend. I think he was in maybe the wrestling world or something, and he was semi-controversial with his voice as well. And he's just started a paywall, so you can actually put your podcast on this paywall, and then no one can censor you. So they can't pull it down because you're behind this paywall, kind of like the Daily Wire. So I don't know that I'll get on to that. However, it got me thinking. I think that's the kind of thing I need to put my podcast on so that I can just say whatever I want, because otherwise you put it on Spotify or any of these other things, they're just going to pull you down if you say something that they don't like, because I'm not Joe Rogan. I don't have millions of people. So hi, Jose Martinez. How are you? So anywho, that's kind of what's going on with me. I do like this setup a little bit better. I couldn't see the messages on the other one, and they're staying up now, so that's good. Where you aren't restricted at all. I also think that you're right. However, getting people to leave TikTok, like even getting people to come here to YouTube is really difficult. To be perfectly honest, I was doing a dual YouTube. Right now I'm only on YouTube, but I did a dual TikTok and YouTube streaming, so I was simulcasting. And even while saying, "Hey guys, can you guys go over and follow me and then watch this on YouTube?" I couldn't get them to do that. So I agree with you, but I think people just like staying in the TikTok app because it's so quick and easy. Our attention span is so short these days. They can just keep scrolling through lives. Whereas on YouTube, I think it's a little bit different. You know, like you must have maybe gotten an alert that I was live and decided to come watch me. But it's definitely different than just, you know, jumping from live to live to live like you can on TikTok. So a lot of people just don't want to leave the app. They're lazy. So I would need to, I think make it okay, at this time, Thursday evening at 7 p.m., I'm going to go live and it's going to be my podcast kind of thing, and then film that and then put that out there, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, but I'm trying to figure something out that I have no idea how to do when I really should just probably hire somebody to come help me. But where I live now, there's not a lot of options for that. Like, I should have done this when I was still in Delray, when literally there's probably 20 people that could have helped me. Now I'm in the Keys and everyone comes here to retire and fish. So there's not a lot of people that they're looking to launch into a YouTube podcast. So anywho, it's really weird over here, guys, I gotta say, because I'm so used to when in TikTok, it's just fast and furious comments. And I don't have to try to fill silence with what I want to talk about because I can just respond to the comments. So it's a little bit quieter over here. Such a shame that so few people are seeing you here. Yeah, well, also, I came on here and this is not intended. I honestly didn't think anyone would be here and I could mess around with my camera and figuring things out. So I'm actually caught off guard because I didn't expect anyone to be here at all, because I didn't tell anyone I was going live or anything like that. I was going to try to mess around with settings and all the stuff that I don't understand. And then, yay, there's like a few people here. So it is what it is. But I have my TikTok ready to launch because I was going to go on TikTok live. Yeah, so I could do that pretty at the same time. Let's go with Slow Joe. What about, have we got any more? I mean, I'm a nerd, so I even watched his speech, not the entire thing, but I even watched his speech where he stood up and I mean, it almost looked like a rally, but it was supposedly a speech for the teachers union. And he's in front of the teachers union, which you would think he would be addressing things to do with school and teaching and such. And he starts launching into abortion. It was like, bro, is this a campaign speech? Like, what's going on? It didn't sound like, I mean, this man's just unhinged. I just really feel like it's so apparent that he's driving our country into the ground. However, we're allowing it. And so many people are like, we got to stand, we got to stand, we got to stand up. And then all we're saying is we got to take a stand, and then no one's fucking doing it. But then I guess when you take a stand, we have something like January 6th, where it's deemed this horrible thing, So it's just, I think people are terrified to take a stand because of what happened that day. He was asked how it feels to be the oldest president. I did not see that. I did see him lost on stage again, and that was the worst one I've seen yet. I mean, literally the man over the intercom had to be like, okay, Mr. President, like basically turn the fuck around, you degenerate old bag of shit. And then he's just like, Mr. Roboto, like, it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. Yeah, this is weird. Apparently, if like comments over here are like questionable, I have to decide whether they go through. It's so weird. I gotta get used to this. Did you lost on stage? I can't believe this is reality. Yeah, I don't think any of us can. That's why when I was just like filming my podcast, it was basically just an introduction of, okay, why am I going to have a podcast? Why do I think anyone would even want to listen to me? Other than the reason I decided to do it is because you guys told me to start doing it. So I was like, okay, I got to take steps to work toward this. But why would anyone want to watch me? And I just realized that what it basically comes down to is I'm not an expert on anything. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a biologist. I'm not a virologist. I'm not a politician. I'm not any of these things, a lawyer. I'm a human being like all of you who has looked through my own eyes and seen what has gone on in the past couple of years. And I'm like, this is not adding up. So there's not very many logical thinkers anymore. Everybody is just gobbling up the mainstream media, and everybody is just exactly what we're being fed. They're just taking it. Like, no, thank you. I don't want macaroni and cheese. I want fucking filet mignon. I'm going to choose what I'm going to consume, and it's sure as shit not the mainstream media fucking Kraft macaroni and cheese bullshit they're selling right now. And I know there's a lot of other logical thinkers out there that refuse to just be a sheep and consume this mainstream media narrative. So I think that it actually makes me more relatable because I'm not toting that I'm some sort of expert. I'm just simply saying this is my opinion. This is how I've seen the world. Challenge it respectfully. Show me another way to see it. Let's have a conversation that might actually go somewhere. We can see each other's side, but we don't have to agree. Lost on stage, yeah. You speak facts. Well, I mean, facts are relative these days. That's the thing. Like, even the fact checkers, we don't even know if we can believe that. So what I speak is my opinion that I believe is made on my logical perception of what's going on, the ability to discern what is bullshit and what's not. So is it a fact? It might be, but it's my fact, it's my truth, it's how I'm perceiving the world. At the end of the day, they're going to try to say that that's wrong, though, because they're trying to keep us from saying what we consider the facts. I'm at the place now where if I get silenced, I know I struck a nerve. Like, I know any video that gets pulled down or any video that gets silenced at this point, I was closer to the truth. Because they don't care. If you're speaking their narrative and you're speaking a bunch of bullshit, they don't care. It's when you're speaking against it that you get silenced. So I'm using that as the telling tale on whether I'm on the right track, I guess. What is a woman? XX chromosomes. You born with a uterus, like a vagina, a uterus that wasn't made by somebody, a human. XX chromosomes, though. It's not anyone who wakes up and feels like a woman. I had this thought and I was thinking, okay, so especially with the feminist movement, because I'm not a feminist by any stretch. If anything, I actually kind of align more with traditional values and roles, but women should have careers if they want careers. But in my marriage, we have traditional roles. And I like that. I like being able to say, I don't want to take out the trash. That's your job. I will take it out if he's not home to take it out. But we have different jobs. And it's not like, oh, that's sexist. It just is what it is in our home. And that's what we do. And it works for us. But if we were to talk to somebody in the, feminist world, then they would say that's completely wrong. So feminism essentially is destroying chivalry, manners of any sort anymore, because men are tired of holding a door open for a woman or this or that and then being berated because of it. Masculinity is being toxic. They're tearing apart the family unit. They're eroding the moral fibers that keep our families together, pinning our children against us by telling them, hey, we'll keep your secret. I know you're a boy at home, but you can be a girl at school. We won't tell anyone. We won't even tell your parents. So that's starting to weave that wedge in there really young, with the children. So then they're going to grow up already hating their fucking parents. Like, what is going on? A wise man once said, if I had $1 for every gender, I'd have $2 and a ton of Monopoly money. Yes, sir. Like to meet your single sister. Unfortunately, I only have a brother and he's married. So, have I ever considered writing a book about the differences between our current government society versus how it was when you were being raised? I've definitely not thought about it. I've thought about writing a book about my life, and this isn't to say that I've had some amazing life. I've actually, I dare say, had a, fucked up life, like really fucked up. Like I don't talk about it on TikTok a lot. I don't go into that because most of my TikTok is kind of comedy, satire, things like that. But all the horrible things that have happened throughout my life have built me to who I am today. But politics never played a part in that. It wasn't until COVID that I even cared about politics. So I'm not sure that I could write a book on that because I didn't pay enough attention then. So I would be writing it from a perspective that didn't think it mattered, I guess, at the end of the day. But because I have found a way to satirically even laugh at the shitty things that have happened in my own life, I really think that I could write a funny book that people would actually want to read about my life, getting sober, changing my entire life. I've got some fucking hilarious stories from when I was an alcoholic that are only funny because I lived through them. I just have no desire to sit down and write. If I could sit down and just dictate it to someone and they were to write it down and then help me edit it, I would be on board. But the idea of actually sitting down and writing a book when I don't have those skills, that's the reason I haven't done it. Still cool to open the car door if you're on a first date. Okay, so do you guys remember this? I think it was The Bronx Tale or A Bronx Tale. There was this one scene in this movie, and it was like, I can't remember if dad was talking to the son, and he's like, women judge whether you're a gentleman by after you or you judge whether a woman is worth keeping or something, or after you open the door for her and she gets in the car and you close the door. If she reaches over and unlocks the door before you get in, then she's a keeper kind of thing. Like, but we've lost this. Well, we have automatic locks and unlocks, so that would never be the case anymore. But we've lost this like mutual respect, that chivalry. The man opens the door, throws his coat over a puddle. Like all those things are just, they're erased. All those, what I just consider respectful, chivalrous things that men used to do to show women that they respected us, I guess. They respected that we were different. Now it's just women, they say they want to be men or they want to be equal to men, but they don't really want to be equal to men. They want to be above them. So they want to suppress men, really, is what they want. So that's not equality. Like, you're literally trying to flip the script entirely. If you really just wanted equality, then we would all just be equal. But they want to literally push men down and rise above them. I don't understand how oppression eliminates past oppression. You can't fight oppression with more oppression, I guess. That's in a movie. Yeah, it was The Bronx Tale. It's a really old classic movie. And I remember watching that when I was a kid. So when back in the day when I would date, I always remembered that. And I would reach over and unlock the door because I was like, I don't want to be one of these like, you open the door for me, but unlock your own fucking door kind of girls, you know? I still hold the door for everyone too. Chivalry is dead, but I try to replicate what it means to be a gentleman. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to parenting. Like, let's just be honest, guys. We can try to blame Gen Z for being the way they are, but guess whose parents Gen Z are? Gen X. So we made these little monsters. I think the problem is not owning the fact that it's our fault that they're the way they are. They didn't raise themselves. And yes, one could argue that school is playing a huge part in that, and that would be true. However, all those characteristics, those manners, those the respect, all that's built at home. And if that is ingrained in these kids from, a very, very young age, it's not going to be eroded when you get to school. But the problem is we have to own that. And I think that even our generation is finding it difficult to own those things. We don't want to admit that we've made these monsters. We want to point fingers and say, oh, it's the indoctrination at school, it's the social media, it's this, it's that. And yes, those definitely all play a part. But had we built the correct foundation for these kids prior to them going out in the world and consuming those other things, they would have more weapons to fight against that with. But how can we expect, if you don't equip them for war and then they go out into the world, they're not going to be able to fight against all those things. So see if it gets you to second base at the end. Hey, I mean, whatever. Like, I get it. Generally speaking, oh yeah, I already read that. Well, thank you guys for even being here. Like I said, I was not expecting this to turn into an actual YouTube chat by any stretch, because I was using it as a test. So I didn't think anyone would be here. It's actually kind of nice to only have a couple of people. And I know none of them are trolls. So I can just chat with just you guys in a more, I don't know, smaller room. Trying to think what else is going on right now that's got me fired up specifically. I mean, obviously the thing that's gotten me the most fired up lately is the 41-year-old man who mowed down the 18-year-old kid because he was a MAGA Republican, or he called him an extremist. They've yet to be able to link him to any sort of extreme anything. My opinion on Ben Shapiro is he's a genius. I love Ben Shapiro. I listen to the Ben Shapiro show every single day. I've never seen Ben Shapiro lose a debate. I can't say that I completely agree to a 100% extent with everything he says, but I would say 98% of the things I align very much with him. Same with Candace Owens. Candace Owens does have some things like, obviously, I consider like her big topic right now is porn and marriage and things like that. But she'll say that if you post a sexy photo on Instagram, that's pornography. I disagree with that. I guess that's one way that I'm a little maybe left leaning as a woman. If I want to dress sexy, I want to dress sexy, and I don't want to be judged for that. So maybe that's not a regular conservative value. Maybe I'm supposed to be wearing, necks up to my, chin and skirts below the knee to be a perfect conservative. I never said I'm a perfect conservative. That my policies, my values, my morals all align with the more conservative party. But if I want to wear something that I look good in, I'm going to wear it. And if I've done so much fitness modeling, you could look at my Instagram and say that's porn, I guess, according to Candace Owens. So those are a few things that I think her and Ben Shapiro, I would maybe not agree with as much. But see, this is how much I love them. This is my Daily Wire mug. So I subscribe to the Daily Wire. I watch it every day. Steve Oatley. I don't know Steve Oatley. I also love Louder with Crowder, obviously. I've honestly never seen a Joe Rogan podcast. I've seen little pieces that have been on YouTube. I know people like him. Let's get Biden to quit. Yeah, I think we all want that. Evidenced by my last video that is still going. It was not one of them that I thought was going to go anywhere, to be perfectly honest, because none of my videos go anywhere on TikTok anymore. I'm lucky if I get 10,000 views, which is very strange when I have 1.3 million followers, but I can barely get 10,000 views on a video lately. But my argument with the lady in the parking lot actually went viral, or it's almost to viral status. So it's evident by the support that I got on that video that there are many, many people that are just fucking done. They're done. They're done. My Instagram, I recently changed it. I think it's 11.butterflies.11 because it used to be my fitness thing. So it was my fitness name, but I've changed it. It's 11. Oh, shoot. That's not what I meant to do. Why does it keep doing that? There it is. Can you see it? 11.butterflies.11. I don't really post to Instagram though, like at all. I've put a couple of my TikToks on the reels just to see how they did, but if fans turn on notifications, they can't miss them. Yeah, I wish on YouTube you could take guests on and do that kind of thing. Maybe you can. I have not figured out how to do it yet. So, am I expecting bad weather? Yeah, we're getting a hurricane. I don't know what it's going to be by the time it actually gets through to us. It's looking more tropical storm where I am, but Florida's going to get smashed. And I moved to the Keys, which should be the more terrifying place. But because it's kind of going around more to the west, we're going to get mostly just some terrible winds, probably tropical storm, borderline Cat 1, maybe, where I am. I mean, unless it changes, and you never know with a hurricane. It could veer off and get nothing. It could veer off and head straight for us. Who knows? I don't put much past it. Yeah, we have shutters. Every other home I've lived in, we had impact windows because they were already there when we bought the house. But this house we bought and we renovated the entire thing, and it already had pretty hardcore shutters, and my husband didn't want to spend the extra money to redo the windows right now. So we just kept the shutters for now. And we'll see how we fare. If for some reason after this one, he's like, yeah, I guess we got to redo the windows, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I would prefer impact windows, honestly, because it's going to be really dark. I'm going to feel like I'm in a basement for a whole day. There's one whole day we're going to have, or two that will be shuttered in because it's going to be kind of like Monday night all the way through Tuesday is the worst of it. Shutter, let's see. Trying to think what else. Do I have or want kids? I do not have kids. I desperately wanted kids. This is a touchy subject. Not touchy in that I desperately wanted children. I met my husband late. Career took over. We waited too long. And then when we went to start, I was going to start IVF and do all this stuff. I had to get a donor, not to blow my husband's spot up, but it wasn't working naturally. So I was going to have to get a donor. And that whole nest egg we had saved up to do that. When COVID hit, we had to take that and put it into our business to keep it afloat. So then fast forward 2 extra years went by. I'm 45 years old, and I finally just decided that, you know what, maybe this wasn't my path. God might have just said there's another way. I can be a mother, whether it's just being a mentor, maybe adoption, something like that. But maybe I just wasn't meant to naturally have children. But sometimes I think it's due to past decisions I've made. I just know I don't serve a vengeful God. So I don't want to ever believe that I'm being punished for things I did in the past. But, you know, those thoughts cross my mind every now and then, but I don't believe that he would punish me for that. So it is what it is. Can't wait. You'll be in Florida in 2 weeks. That's awesome. That'll be right after the storm. Yeah, I do not feel 45. Honestly, if I actually think about it, I get really emotional because when you actually say the number out loud, you know that like your life's halfway over. And that's like a really heavy subject when you really think about it. I still feel like I'm 30, 25, you know? I wish I could take those 12 years that I was a alcoholic and just go back in time and not do that. But yet again, maybe I wouldn't be the human I am today had I not done that. So. You don't look a day over 30. Do you have skincare tips? Skincare tips. I honestly just don't wear much makeup. And I honestly think, especially in this day and age where these young girls just plaster so much makeup on their face, like even the undone makeup look, they've got 7 layers of makeup on. And I just don't think that's great for your skin. So I think maybe the benefit that I really haven't worn a ton of makeup throughout my life because I honestly haven't had the best skincare regimen. I definitely go out in the sun. I literally do everything you shouldn't do. So I don't, and then people will say, what are your skincare? I'm like, you don't want me to give you skincare tips because I'm definitely not doing what I should be doing. I should be getting facials. I should be doing a lot of things that I don't do. So I'm lucky if I wash my face at night. Like I've been really good for the last week and a half. I've washed my face before I went to bed every night. But that is touch and go. That echo. Yeah, a couple of people are saying that. I didn't come on here to actually have an audience. I came on here to figure those things out. And then people came in. So I was caught off guard. I was like over here messing around, not looking at the camera, and all of a sudden I saw comments. So I do apologize. I do not know how to fix the echo. That is something I've got to have somebody come help me with. So I'm about to probably pop off though and just go on my TikTok live because my TikTok live, that's what I was going to do and devote this time to. I was just trying to mess around with my camera and like get it set up in the right area. And then I'm going to try to like do a YouTube live at a certain time once a week. But yeah. So yeah, someone said I'll see you there. So I think I'm gonna do that because it does come in better. I have to do that on my phone, so there's no echo. It usually sounds a little bit better. So if you guys all follow me on TikTok as well, just head over there. It'll be a much more direction-based conversation because I always have a plethora of people in the comment section that kind of steer it. So. And I'm a free speech advocate. I don't silence the trolls. There tends to be a lot of them. They do not bother me. I don't give them my power. So, anywho, all right, guys, I am going to pop off here. But thank you guys for coming, even though I didn't know I would get anyone. I totally appreciate you. I'll either see you on TikTok or I'll see you here next time I go live. Now I got to figure out how to stop the live because I don't even know how to do that. Like, literally don't know how to get off. How do you do this? I am a troll magnet. Like, seriously, for real, I don't know how to turn it off. I think I'm just going to have to click out of YouTube. And maybe that'll just stop it. Well, this is just absurd.